factor by receiving this account receivable as well as bills receivable, it will make the payment immediately to the organization. Who is an originator? So it is an entity where the securitization starts, which would typically buy the assets to be securitized from the originator. The investor may be in the form of individuals or institutional investors. Hello everyone, I am Arshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidyashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysore. Today we are in the fourth session of Unit 5, that is factoring. So my dear students, we were discussing about factoring and we have already learned few concepts relating to factoring. Let us quickly recall what we have discussed in a previous session. So these are the few topics which we have already discussed in a previous session. So the first one is advantages of factoring. Now what do you mean by factoring here? So when the organization sell the goods on credit basis. So here if the organization, so this is the organization or we call it as client. Now if the organization have sold goods to the customers on credit basis. So here we are going to take only the transaction of credit transaction. So if the goods are sold on credit basis, so the customer will not make the payment immediately. For example, the customer has taken 3 months duration for making the payment. So the duration of the customer to pay the amount to the organization or client is 3 months. Now what the organization will do? Organization will appoint a person who is known as factor. Now, when the goods are sold on credit basis, the customer will give the bills receivable or accounts receivable to the organization. Now, why this factor is being appointed by the organization? So, this bills receivable or account receivable will be given to the factor. So, here the factor will have this bills receivable or account receivable. So, this contains the amount that has to be paid by the customer to the organization. Now what the factor will do? Factor by receiving this account receivable as well as bills receivable, it will make the payment immediately to the organization. On the due date, that is after 3 months, customer will make the payment to the factor. So that is known as what? Factoring. So this process is called as factoring. So we have already learned what is the advantages of factoring, what are the limitations of factoring, and we have studied about securitization of debt. That is conversion of illiquid assets into marketable securities is called as securitization. So in a previous session we have already discussed in detail about these three concepts. In today's session we shall continue with new concept. So we are going to discuss about parties in securitization transaction. Let us see who are the parties. So we have already seen an example and we know what is the meaning of this securitization. Let us see who are the parties under securitization. So the first one is originator. Now who is an originator? This is the entity on whose book the assets to be securitized exist. So this is the entity in which the books is being securitized. That is known as what? Originator. It is the prime mover of the deal. That is, it set up the necessary structure to execute the deal. So who is the originator? They are the prime mover of the deal. It sells the asset on its books and receives the fund generated from such sale. Now, here this organization or entity sells the assets and using that asset they are going to borrow the amount. It is a true sale. So it is a true sale. The originator transfers both the legal as well as beneficial interest in the asset to the SPV. Now what do you mean by SPV? Special purpose vehicle. So we have already discussed how this securitization works, right? So who is an SPV? So we have already discussed in a previous session. Now who is an originator? So it is an entity where the securitization starts. So it is the origin of this whole process. So they are called as what? Originator. Now coming to the second party, that is SPV, special purpose vehicle. So SPV means what? Special purpose vehicle. So as I told you, so when the bank needs the amount by keeping this mortgage fund, so what it will do, it will transfer that mortgage fund to SPV, special purpose vehicle. Now SPV transfers this mortgage into marketable security which will be issued to the public in the open market. So the issuer, also known as SPV, is the entity. So SPV is the person or the organization who is giving or taking that mortgage security and converting them into marketable security is called as SPV, which would typically buy the assets to be securitized from the originator. Now who is the originator here? It will be the bank or the financial institution. So we have already studied, right? So it is a bank or the organization or any other institution where this non or illiquid asset are being deposited. So illiquid asset. So illiquid assets. So originator is the bank or institution where illiquid asset is being originated. So that is known as what? Originator. Now what about SPV? SPV means what? So here bank transfers the amount or the mortgage asset to the SPV and SPV convert that asset into marketable security. So which would typically buy the asset. Now from the bank SPV will buy the asset and that asset will be converted into marketable security. From the originator, the SPV is typically low capitalized entity with narrowly defined purpose and activities and usually have independent trustees or directors. So this SPV will have independent trustees or directors who is going to purchase the asset. As one of the main objective of securitization is to remove the asset from the balance sheet of the originator. That is, here from the originator, the assets will be transferred to SPV. The SPV plays a very important role is as much as it holds the asset in its book and makes the upfront payment for them to the originator. By keeping the assets here, that is illiquid asset, the SPV will provide money to the originator, that is for the bank or financial institution. Next is investors. Of course, as I told you, SPV will convert that asset into marketable security. One who buy that security is called as investors. The investor may be in the form of individuals or institutional investors like FIs, mutual funds, provident funds, pension fund, insurance company, etc. So this SPV will transfer the fund in the form of securities. Now, one who buys this security, is called as what? Investors. They buy a participating interest in the total pool of receivables and receive their payment in the form of interest and principal as per the agreed pattern. Now the investors is going to buy the security and the amount goes here and it will be transferred to SPV. Besides these primary parties, the other parties involved in securitization deal are given below. Let us see beside these parties, that is the SPV as well as the originator as well as the investor. Let us see who are the parties involved. So the first party is obligors. So the obligor is the originator's debtor. Now I have already told you, now bank is the originator, right? Originator's debtor or financial institution. Originator's debtor is called as what? Obligor. That is borrower of the original loan. Now here there are number of borrowers who have borrowed loan. So they have borrowed loan from the bank. So these persons are called as what? Obligor. The amount outstanding from the obligor is the asset that is transferred to the SPV. The amount outstanding from the obligor of the asset will be transferred to whom? That is asset. The original asset is that of borrowers. So the borrower has given the asset to the bank in order to provide the loan. Now the bank will transfer this asset to SPV. The credit standing of the obligors is of paramount importance in the securitization transaction. Now the original asset is that of borrower or the obligor. Now the obligor transfers to that of originator. Now bank is the originator. Next it is been transferred to SPV, that is special purpose vehicle, and there the marketable or the illiquid asset will be converted into marketable security, and the person who buys the marketable security is called as investors. And the next one is rating agency. So of course we have discussed in a previous session. So before this, SPV transfers that illiquid assets into marketable security, SPV contact one more person. It is what? Credit rating agency. Now what is the duty of credit rating agency? That it will see the credit worthiness of all the borrowers who have borrowed loan from the financial institution. So credit rating agency see the credit worthiness, that is the credit rating agency. Since the investors take on the risk of the asset pool rather than the originator, the external credit rating plays an important role. Now, based on the credit rating agency or the information which is given by the credit rating agency, here the SPV will issue on the based on that, here they are going to issue the securities in the market. So here also credit rating agency plays a very important role. The rating process would access the strength of the cash flow and the mechanism designed to ensure full and timely payment by the process of selection of loans of appropriation credit policy. As I told you, whatever the loan which is being borrowed by the borrowers, to see the credit worthiness of the borrowers, so this credit rating agency plays a very important role. Next is administrator or servicer. So it collects the payment due from the obligors. Now who is the obligor? The real borrowers. One who have borrowed the loan is called as obligors. So it collects the payment due from the obligors and passes it to SPV. So later on, after SPV have converted that illiquid assets into marketable security, so the amount has to be collected from these main obligors, right? So here this administrator or servicer will help them to collect that amount from the obligors, follow up with delinquent borrowers and pursues legal remedies available against the defaulting borrowers. If any of the borrower have not made the payment to SPV, then legal action will be taken. Since it receives the installments and pays it to the SPV, it is also called as receiving and paying agent. So these administrators are called as receiving as well as paying agent. And the next one is agent and trustee. So it accepts the responsibility for overseeing that all the parties of the securitization deal performance according to the securitization trust agreement. Of course, there is an agreement that is known as securitization trust agreement. Now, the agent and trustee, it is a duty of them to look after that each and every activities in the securitization are taking according to securitization trust agreement. Basically, it is appointed to look after the interest of the investor. So, in order to safeguard the interest of the investors, so these agent and trustees are appointed. And the next one is structurer. So, normally an investment banker is responsible as structurer. Now, investment banker, as I told you here, if the borrower wants the money, they go for this bank. Right? So, normally an investment banker is responsible for structurer, for bringing together the originator. So, it is a duty of the investment bank to bring all the originator together, credit enhancer, the investor and other parties in securitization deal. So, it also works with the originator and helps in structuring deals. So, it also works as a originator. Now let us see what are the advantages of securitization. So if you see the advantages, so there are many advantages of securitization because this illiquid asset can be converted into cash. So the first one is additional source of fund. Of course, by converting illiquid asset into liquid asset, that is which can be converted into cash immediately, so it is a additional source of fund because it can be converted into marketable assets which can be sold to the public in the open market. Next, greater profitability. So securitization leads to faster recycling of fund and thus leads to higher business turnover and profitability. Of course, when the business needs, there should be smooth flow of money, right? So when this securitization helps in conversion of illiquid assets into cash, there will be smooth flow of cash. At the same time, there will be smooth running of the business also. Next, enhancement of CAR. So securitization enables banks and financial institutions to enhance their capital adequacy ratio. So CAR means what? Capital adequacy ratio, by reducing their risky assets. Because this illiquid asset can be converted easily, so thereby capital adequacy ratio also increases. Next, spreading credit risk. So here the risk will be borne by whom? By the SPV, that is special purpose vehicle, right? So securitization facilitates spreading of credit risk to different parties involved in the process of securitization such as SPV, insurance companies, enhancer, etc. So these are the risk bearers under securitization. Who are the risk bearers? SPV, that is special purpose vehicle, insurance company as well as credit enhancer. And lower cost of funding. So when compared to other type of funding, here it is lower cost. Originator can raise fund immediately without much cost of borrowing. Now originator is a person or the bank who is not having sufficient amount of fund, so they can easily raise the fund without much cost. In the sense, with low cost they can easily raise the fund. And the next advantage is provision of multiple instruments. So from investors' point of view, securitization provides multiple instruments because this illiquid asset can be converted into marketable security. That is not only one type of marketable security, various types of marketable security. So for the investor, there is a lot of option to invest in various types of securities. So securitization provides multiple instruments, so it has to meet the varying requirements of the investing public. Next, higher rate of return. So when compared to traditional debt securities like bonds and debentures, securitized asset provides higher rate of return along with better liquidity. So when compared to debenture as well as bonds, so the securities which is issued through securitization, where they can yield high rate of return with less risk, and there is better liquidity also because the assets can be converted into cash immediately. Next, prevention of idle capital. So in the absence of securitization, capital would remain idle in the form of illiquid asset like mortgage, term loans, etc. Of course, if there was no process of this securitization, then this illiquid asset remains idle. So this illiquid asset cannot be converted into cash. So this would be remain idle till the end of that term, that is mortgage term. So my dear students, in today's session we have learned who are the parties under securitization and what are the advantages of securitization. See you all in my next session. Till then, take care. Thank you.